Our next team comes from Korea. 15-year-old Jinny Kim, 16-year-old Namu Lee. They were 25th at the World Juniors last year. They'll need an 84.61 to take the lead. Season's best is 83, so they're going to need to work hard to get that top score. And they're going to skate to the music of The Greatest Showman.
Korea's Jinny Kim and Namu Lee conclude their free dance. And Ted, so much respect for the team in delivering that free dance with such passion and commitment, because they will understandably find themselves a little disappointed. The score from the rhythm dance was 8 points lower than what they achieved en route to winning that bronze medal in Bangkok, and yet you would have never sensed any disappointment or frustration. They totally committed to The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, good on the skaters and good on the coaches as well to sort of prepare them where they're at and say, hey, all you can do is control this performance. And they did that, you know, really good energy throughout. And you talked about that, about expectations coming out of a competition or coming into a season. And as we talked about the different strategies and where you first end up, sometimes it might be a surprise. So how do you carry that expectation forward juniors aren't the only ones that go through that. You know, the world champion para team, for instance, how do you deal with a new season as world champions now? You know, it gets complicated and sometimes emotionally difficult.
Yeah, and testament to Jinny and Namu and their families and coaches as well, and showing their ability to deal with it. And in context, they didn't make the free dance last year at Junior World, so that bronze medal on their first assignment was, you know, real coup. You know, their score now from this event may be a little bit more reflective of where they're at. However, I actually thought this performance may have been better as a performance. Looking at the levels, they really benefited from high-tech score in Bangkok. It doesn't look like they've had that same kind of success here. As we look at the twizzles, just dropping of the free leg, a little bit out of synchronicity, so potentially losing a feature, and the grade of execution here. The dance spin just coming in at a level 2. As to whether or not that layback is sufficiently far enough back with enough support, that's the kind of things that the esteemed tech panel will be looking at. But look at that conviction to the finished position.
Yeah, 2 big trips too, you know, from Vancouver to Bangkok, going back home to train, and then Vancouver to Osaka. So a lot of movement around the world in a very short period of time while you're trying to keep the training up and expectations, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, listen, this is experience that is gained. They'll take forward, help them the rest of the way in their junior career and as they move into seniors. That's what the juniors are all about, is providing experience opportunities. And no question this team has had that this year so far.
Yeah, and I love to see what it's great to see the skaters recognizing the camera, recognizing the fact that, you know what, you're on a pretty big stage and there's cameras on you right now, and that's not something that happens necessarily at all the domestic events. This is an opportunity to really showcase and to show their families how hard they've worked, because, you know, there's a lot of movement to be able to train and pursue your dream like this, and they're only 15 and 16.
Yeah, and as you know, doing the interviews with the champions from the Junior Grand Prix, it's kind of a new experience for many of them. And so, once again, it's a learning ground, and it's a great opportunity. And a number of federations actually do some media training with their juniors, which is a good thing to do. Prepare them.
And again, just to give the team context, it's going to be lower here than in Bangkok. However, like I said, didn't qualify for the free dance at Junior Worlds last year, and the score that we're seeing that's likely to come up would be still, albeit not as high as their first event this year, still a score that would have had them in the free dance, competitive in the free dance at Junior World. So season on season, still showing that they've made strides forwards in the off season. And as you said, Ted, they obviously worked really hard with Megan and Aaron back in Vancouver.
Oh, they do. Just hard workers, and progress has been made, but more will come for sure. Their season's best was 83.02. They're not going to make that here. In this case, it's a 72.35, and they can see a little bit disappointed with that number, but they have to take their performance, talk with Aaron, is how did they feel that performance was, with where they're at in development, and against Bangkok.